guys, it's Angela, and today I'm going to be doing the stay-at-home book tag, which was created by Madison Mary from the channel Princess of Paperback. This tag is a really fun tag to do right now, and all of the questions are sort of based around things that we're doing while we're staying home during this really difficult time, and I think that making this tag was just such a great idea, and I'm so excited to do it. Question 1, laying in bed. What is a book you could/have read in a day? And there's a few of them, but the one I want to share today is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. I read this in one sitting, actually, and it is a graphic novel, so it is not too difficult to read in one sitting if you can just section out the time, and we've all got a lot of time right now. But this book is just so amazing, and I can't even describe to you the feeling I had when finishing this book. My heart just felt so full, and I was just so happy, and I just loved it so much. And right now, especially, I think that this book would be a really great book to read because of how good it makes you feel. And also, you can read it online too. So I figured including this, everybody could access it. And so this book is basically about two boys who become friends, and then they become more than that, and I feel like that's all I'm going to say about it. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. Alice Oseman is just such a talented author. The illustrations are so cute, and I would highly recommend this. And like I said, you can read it online. You can read the first 3 volumes online, actually. So yeah, this is for number 1. Question 2, snacking. What is a guilty pleasure read? I feel like this isn't going to come as a surprise to any of you, but for me, that definitely is Twilight. I recognize the flaws that the series has, and like I get it, but also it's just so nostalgic. Like, I didn't grow up reading Harry Potter, so I guess you could sort of say like this is my Harry Potter. Like, I read it when I was younger, and I've read it a million times, watched the movies a million times. Whatever mood I'm in, I'm always down for Twilight, like depressed, anxious, happy, nervous, sad, whatever. Slap some Twilight on that and we'll make it through. The soundtracks, bomb. But anyway, yeah, Twilight is definitely a guilty pleasure read. Like I said, I definitely acknowledge the flaws, and there are a lot of them, but it's just so nostalgic and important to me. Question 3, Netflix. What is a series that you want to start? I really want to read Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first of, there's 2 books out right now. I think it might be a trilogy or more. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but it is a series. And this is a science fiction YA novel featuring Spencer, who wants to be a pilot, but because of her father's past actions, she's struggling to do that because he has a really poor image that has affected her. And that's really all I know about this book. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but it is a genre that I want to get more into. Also, I've never read a Brandon Sanderson book, and I know that his books are very hyped both here on BookTube and within the reading community in general. So I'm really excited to pick this up. Question number 4, Deep Clean. And the prompt that goes with that is a book that's been on your TBR for ages. So I figured I'd pull some of the oldest books on my TBR that have been on my TBR for a really long time, like since high school. And those books are The Stand by Stephen King and Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I bought these the same day, 6 years ago. So they've been on my TBR for 6 years, and Salem's Lot is on my list of 20 books to read in 2020, and The Stand intimidates me, but honestly, right now I have a lot of time, so I could definitely see myself attempting to pick it up within the next coming months. But yeah, these are 2 of the oldest books on my TBR. They have been sitting here for 6 years, and I haven't even opened them. So yeah, yikes. Question 5, Animal Crossing. A book that you've bought recently because of the hype. And that is Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. This was actually my last in-person book purchase. So that's kind of sad. But yeah, I feel like all of Sarah J. Maas's books are really hyped, and I had just heard so much about this, so I picked it up because of the hype. Question 6, productivity. And for that, pick a book that you've learned from or has impacted you. So I've picked 2, one for a book that I've learned from and one from a book that has impacted me. But a book that I've learned from is No Exit by Taylor Adams. This is an adult thriller, so you're probably like, what did you learn? Well, I learned a lot of things from this book. One of the main things that I learned from this book was about a chronic illness that I had no idea was even a thing. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to spoil the story at all, but I felt that this chronic illness was represented really well, and it was just really great to read a book going in thinking I was going to get a thriller, and I did get a thriller, but I also learned a lot about a chronic illness, and so I thought that was really cool. This book just also really made me think and made me wonder what I would do if I was in the situation that the main character was in. And this book follows a woman who is driving during a snowstorm, and she gets stranded at a rest stop with 5 other people. And she goes outside for some reason or another, and outside she sees a little girl in a cage in the back of a van. And then she goes back inside knowing that one of these people has abducted a little girl. And now she's faced with this really difficult moral dilemma of, what do I do in this situation? And because, like I said, it is a snowstorm, they are snowed in, she just has to make some really difficult choices. And this book really made me think about myself and what I would have done in that situation. So I guess this book has taught me something and impacted me. But yeah, No Exit by Taylor Adams. It's really good. So the second book for this question focuses mainly on a book that has impacted me. And if you've been here for a while watching my channel, then I'm sure you know what that is. But it's A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemner. And this book has impacted me in a way that I don't know if any other book will be able to do so. This book features a character with cerebral palsy, and if you didn't already know, I have cerebral palsy, and we both have cerebral palsy to the same level, because I think what a lot of people don't get when it comes to cerebral palsy is that there are so many different levels that you can have of it and limbs that can be affected. There's so many different actual types of cerebral palsy, but this character and I have pretty much the same level and almost the same effect, as she's affected in one of her legs and I'm affected in both. But this was the first time that I got to see myself represented in a book, and I felt that the way the author handled this was just absolutely amazing and incredible. This is one of my favorite books of all time, and it's just so important to me, and it had such a huge impact on me, and it always will. Number 7, Facetime, a book that you were gifted. I've been really lucky enough to actually receive a lot of books lately, actually over 10 books, because I started quarantining sort of before everybody else did, because I'm one of those people who is vulnerable, and I have asthma and heart issues and a bad immune system, whatever. So people actually started sending me books in the mail before Amazon sort of shut down-ish and things were delayed. So I've received an abundance of books. I'm actually going to do a whole book haul because I'm just so thankful and really just blown away by the love and support that this community has shown me during this difficult time. But the one book that I am going to mention in this video that was gifted is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh, and this was sent to me by Carly from Carly's Chapters. I'll have her channel linked down below. And this is sort of a historical fiction story, I think. Yeah, because it's set in New Orleans a really long time ago, and it has vampires in it. And if you couldn't already tell, I'm trash for a good vampire. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. That's really all I know about it and all I want to know, but I'm really excited to read it, and I've heard great things. Question 8 is self-care. What is something that you do to look after yourself? So I think that looking after yourself during this time is definitely one of the most important things that you can do. And we're all definitely under a lot of stress and, emotional. And so to look after myself, I've done things to try to make myself happy, I guess. So I'll just watch a bunch of funny TikToks. I feel like laughter is one of the most important things that you can do right now, because it's okay to laugh during this time. Look up funny TikToks, look up funny videos, watch old Vine compilations, watch your favorite funny YouTubers, and just let yourself laugh and enjoy the moment that you're living in right now. Also, I think one of the best things you can do for self-care during this time of uncertainty is to really think about the things that you've been wanting to do that you haven't gotten the chance to do before because life has been so busy. So, for example, like a show on Netflix that you've been wanting to watch, but you haven't been able to watch it because life is busy, or just a new skill or a new recipe that you want to try. I think the best thing that you can do for yourself during this time is to make the best of your stay-at-home experience. Because you don't want to look back on this when you had all that time and think to yourself, wow, I could have like watched, this show. Like I had so much time and I didn't use it efficiently. But then at the same time, I think the best thing that you can do for self-care is just whatever makes you feel okay and what makes you happy. So yeah, for self-care, really it's just doing things that make me happy, watching funny things, talking to my friends, and just making the most out of this experience because, like many, I have more free time now than I've ever had. But also, personally, I know that I'm going to be staying in a lot longer than everybody else is. Like, when everybody else goes back to work and stuff, I'm still not going to be able to go out. I'm going to be part of that last group of people with, like, the vulnerable and the elderly who finally get to go out. So it's a really long time for me, and I think the best thing that I've found doing right now is doing things I enjoy, reading books I enjoy, watching new shows, whatever. Do what makes you happy and what makes you able to safely and in a healthy way cope with the situation. And the bonus question is, what is an upcoming release that you're excited for? There are so many different upcoming releases that I'm excited for, and of course, some of the dates have been pushed back, which is understandable, but I'm still just equally as excited. And one of them is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This comes out in June, I believe, and I don't really know much of what it's about, but I've loved every single book I've read by Riley Sager so far, so I'm super excited to pick this up when it does come out. So this tag was a really fun tag to do. Thank you again, Madison, for making it. I think it's just a great way to sort of bring a little bit of positivity into the world right now. So lastly, I'm going to tag a few people. First and foremost, if you're watching this and you do make bookish content, then please consider yourself tagged. And then also I wanted to tag a few people specifically. Allie from Hardback Hoarder, I know she loves a good tag. Chanel from It's Chanel Time, and Emma from Emma Books. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're all doing okay and doing the best that you can. And I'm sending everyone so much love. And as always, have a good one.